Hello, everyone. Good evening. So as you may or may not have noticed, typically I go live every Sunday at 5:30 Central Time. However, I wanted to break up that routine a little bit and jump on here and go live today, which is Saturday evening at that, just to talk about a few things. So, for those of you who do not know who I am, my name is Lepore Lindsay, and I'm a keynote speaker and workshop facilitator on professional development. And so, the topic that I'm going to be speaking on, or just talking a little bit about this evening, is surrounding professional development. It's surrounding our opportunities to be able to grow. And one of the things I'm really passionate about is how each individual is able to bring value into the workplace. Now, when it comes to hopefully my title is correct here. But when it comes to value in the workplace, it is something that is so very nuanced, meaning that there is no cookie cutter approach. And one of the things that I've been seeing a lot of in my social media feeds is that of Tabitha Brown and some of the things that she shared in regards to entrepreneurs and the fact of them needing to get a job. Now, it created a lot of controversy. Why it created controversy, I'm not quite sure. I'm still trying to figure that part out, if I'm honest. Because here's my take on it. So I feel that number one, let me share this. I am an entrepreneur. I am someone who is working on my business when it comes to keynote speaking and workshop facilitation. And anyone who knows me, I will tell you that I am not at a point where I can fully go all in on that endeavor. As a mother, as a wife, I have financial responsibilities that I need to take care of. And so with that in mind, I have to balance that with chasing my dream because that's part of life, knowing that I have to have a financial um stable income, as stable as much as I can control. And for me, that control comes from having a W2 opportunity in addition to working on my dream as well. Now, one of the things that Tabitha Brown mentioned was that for people who perhaps they have some really great ideas, they're able, but they're lacking on that execution piece. Those are the folks that may want to consider getting a job, especially in this economy. I don't think that anything that she shared was targeted towards people who are looking for work, but it is focused on execution. And I think that when it comes to topics like this, nuance is so very important because there are all different types of entrepreneurs, and each person is in a different financial stance. Each person is in a different financial state. And so for us to say that one person, um, or for us to say that one statement is applicable to all would be flawed. And I don't think that she was saying that that one statement was something that is applicable to all. I believe that it was something that is applicable to, if you are an entrepreneur and you're not coming up with income, don't stay in that situation and struggle with it, but look for other opportunities of income, look for other streams of revenue, other streams of profit versus solely focusing on that business, because that execution piece, or the lack of execution piece, is causing us to miss out on financial opportunities. Now, with all of this, I will say that the job workforce right now, it is hard. It is difficult. It is nothing like, I don't think anyone in our generation has seen before. I don't want to tell you what generation I'm in. Maybe I should. I don't know. But millennials, right? Millennials, Gen Zs, I don't think we've seen this like this before. I know that when the Bureau of the Job Labor, the data statistics, sorry, it's late, so my brain's not, everything's not communicating as I would like it to. But when that information came out, I think it was something like 22,000 jobs that were created. And back in June, after the revisions, it went from a positive count to a negative count. And so there's two things to kind of think about here. Number one is that there are currently more jobs that are, I'm sorry, more people that are unemployed than jobs available. So there are more people unemployed than there are jobs available. And so that means that you're going to have a lot of different people that are looking for different career opportunities that they are not able to gain, that they're not able to get. The second thing to kind of think about when we're looking at um, these data points is that this means that we have to change up our strategies a little bit. Now, I used to focus primarily on career strategy in the sense of how to look for a job and things of that nature. That's no longer my primary focus point. It's more so when you're working, excuse me, what are some different types of things to consider? What are different things to keep in mind, right? But understanding that because the job market is different, that also means that what we do and how we approach it also has to be different. It's going to need to be a combination of things, a combination of looking at job boards, a combination of networking, which means talking to people or speaking with people that you already know, speaking with people that you don't know, attending those events, things along those lines, using LinkedIn, using even social media, all platforms, not only just letting people know that you need to work, but demonstrating what your ability is. And the other piece of that is sometimes taking jobs that we don't necessarily want straight up. I know for me, a couple of years. Well, number one is I'm a military spouse, and so for me, that has meant that every few years we've always had to move, meaning that I've been unemployed a lot of times. And I know that there were a couple of jobs that I really did not like, I really did not want, but I continued to work there because I needed that financial income. And sometimes the situation presents itself where we are in positions or we do take on roles or jobs that aren't necessarily the best. But if it's not toxic, as in there is no physical, mental, or financial type of abuse, then it may be something that is worth a job that's worth having in order to have that financial stability. It doesn't mean that we have to stay there. It doesn't mean that this is or that particular role is all that we are capable of. We're not defined by that job, but if it provides us that financial opportunity and stability that we need, then that is certainly something to consider there. So as we go back to, talking about the things that Tabitha Brown mentioned, I just want to highlight the fact that everything has nuance. Everything has nuance, and if we approach conversations, all conversations, with an open mind and understanding that someone can share their opinion, share their perspective, and another person can share their opinion and their perspective. And it doesn't mean that anyone is right or anyone is wrong. It's just what is applicable for you, what works for you. And the uproar, the negative conflict, many times it isn't needed. It isn't we don't have to be so um vile, so angry, or whenever we disagree with someone. Much of it is just based on, hey, how can we have a conversation? How can we understand where that person is coming from, but also be able to explain where we are as well. So hopefully this was helpful to someone. But that's all I have to share, y'all. Y'all know I'm short-winded, so I'm not gonna be on here talking no 30 minutes about much of anything unless it's a workshop or a keynote. Um, but that's all that I have for this evening. I hope that you all enjoy the rest of your weekend. And yeah, if you have any questions, you can feel free to reach out to me. I am here on YouTube where you see me now, but I'm also on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, growing those a little bit more. So as I am this one. But yeah, feel free to reach out, message me if you have any questions or concerns or things along those lines. All right, y'all. Have a great evening. And I'm still going live tomorrow at my regular time, which is 5:30 Central, only for about 15-20 minutes. But in the meantime, remember to stay adding value. All right, y'all. Bye.